So you start looking at your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. You examine yourself that way. Yeah.
FM, good evening to you, my listener, and I am Grace Mwesigwa. I'm thrilled to be back on air after a brief leave, and I am feeling refreshed, revitalized, but also ready to dive back into the conversations that matter most to our community. And thank you so much for tuning to 89 Smart FM and for the continued support. Let's make it happen again. Counting dates. Today we are counting 2nd of December 2024, 10 minutes past 8 p.m. Yesterday was World AIDS Day, and I want to believe that as a young person, as an adult, as a child, you sat down and made better decisions on how you're going to manage your life today and tomorrow. I've been joined by Pastor Afuga, who is the director of Pathway for Integrity, which is an NGO that is looking at mindset change, but also seeing people transforming for better.
Yeah.
Good to have you, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, our dear listeners. Thank you so much, Mr. Morgan. You've been lost and we've been missing you. But thanks be to God, you are here today. Our dear listeners, we are always grateful to have you tuned on Smart FM every Monday for Pathway for Integrity Network. We are the people existing to transform communities, to make sure that we have a better Busoga, a better Uganda, where our generation will enjoy and even the generation to come. We are here simply to help you connect with someone else and make your life better.
Sure.
We are network and building networks actually for people of the like mind. We are existing in Gingertown as a CBO currently, Clive Road Central East, Haji Hussein Building, floor number 1 and shop number 21. If you need us, you can visit our office. We are always there from Monday to Saturday actually. Yeah, talking to the people and encouraging people in different ways. Pathway for Integrity Network is simply looking at a trusted global community thriving on integrity, transparency and accountability. But we mostly look at people from the grassroots.
Sure.
We want to help our communities thrive.
Okay.
And actually we don't throw the problem or the challenge to anyone. We begin by looking at ourselves, how best we have changed or transformed in order to begin transformation within our communities.
Absolutely.
We have a slogan that says that we are overcoming evil by being good or doing good.
I like the slogan because the good should overpower
Yes.
the bad or the negative energy, the devil.
Yeah, so that means that if we want to transform this country, it has to begin with us. We have to lead by example.
Okay.
We are not going in to arrest anyone or to condemn anyone. We want people who feel that they can do something and lead by example. That's the network we are trying actually to build within Busoga. Because many times, Mr. Morgan, people have complained about others. I'm failing because so-and-so is not doing well.
Sure.
Because so-and-so is not helping, because the government has not helped enough, because I was left out by some company organization, they didn't employ me. But what have you done to help yourself?
Absolutely.
It has to begin with you. Yeah.
Wow, so interesting. And my off days have actually, during my leave, I sat down and looked at, similar to the content that we've always shared. I looked at, like you say, be the change you want to see.
Yes.
I said, okay, who is the country? And I said, I am the country. We are the country. We are the future.
Yes.
We are the change we badly need.
Yes.
If we can just only work together, we can define our destiny very well.
Yeah.
And I really like that slogan. And
yeah, for example, country you are talking about, there are many factors that make up a country.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't just wake up to be a country. That's why sometimes we blame people who are failing. I can bring an example of the government. People who are failing in the government. But they might also be failing because of the many factors. They can't come out to explain the public. So this may need a joint effort to solve the problem we are facing. Last time we were discussing corruption and bribery. And we said that, we want to fight corruption and bribery, for example. But sometimes a bribe may be given by someone when they have not asked for it, because just you want to be helped out or to solve your problem. For example, they may arrest a friend of yours or a relative. They take him to police, and you need this person out of police badly. So what you do is to look out for a police officer who can help you.
Sure.
Before they tell you that they need something, you mention it by yourself. What can I do for my person to be out of the cells? So in that way, a bribe comes in, not because you wanted to give it, but because you want your person out of the cells.
I get.
Yeah. So, that's where we say that this needs a collective effort, a joint effort, not just to blame people, but to find a way of solving the puzzle of development. So members listeners who are listening to us out there, Pathway for Integrity Network has come so that you can join us and we all do something to help our country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good to have you, Pastor. And I really wanted to report to you that there is one person, there is one senior officer that enjoys 89 Smart FM Reference Point so much. And she was asking me if I can deliver regards to you. This is Miss Rachel Ntabade. She works with Nail Breweries.
Okay.
Of course, me and you, we are opposite to the products, but we love the people who are there.
Yeah.
So Rachel and the team from Nail Breweries, please, thank you so much for listening in. And discovery, I've tried understanding. Discovering myself for the days I've been off, and I'm so really happy, excited to know that today's discussion is about self-discovery. And I said, okay, now how did Pastor Afuga get to know that I had interest in this topic? And this evening, I know it is not just Grace, but thousands of people are excited to hear from you when you're diving into and discussing more about self-discovery. And let's first understand its deeper meaning. Maybe we can get to know its effects. But first of all, Pastor, how can you help someone understand this term self-discovery? And how can we relate it to our day-to-day operations?
Yeah, I want to bring it to the local context. Self-discovery may simply mean understanding oneself, your inner person,
Okay.
who you are when people are not there, what you understand about yourself.
Okay.
It is simply that person who makes you up. Leave alone what you show on the outside to fit in the society, but that inner person when you are alone. Think about it in this way. When you are alone in your small room, in your house, when you are there, you try to bring out the real person who you are, based on your motives, based on your heart, based on actually how you are generally. So self-discovery in relation to development we are talking about, it's not until you get to understand who you are that you can start the journey of success in your life.
Okay.
That is what I can simply tell the people. Every time we fail to understand ourselves, we end up in problems. And this has happened many times to the youth, for example, who are just starting life, who are starting their adulthood. Many of them have lived in debts. Many of them have lived in agony, just because on the outside they want to show that they are fitting in the society, but yet when they are different within themselves. Take an example. You are someone who is coming from a poor background,
Sure.
and you get to be employed with maybe Mr. Morgan at the same station. He's driving, and you also wake up one day and say, no, I also want a car. I need a car. I need to drive. But you don't know why Mr. Morgan is driving and where he gets his resources to drive.
Sure.
So you want to cope up with life, which you really don't match with.
Yeah.
When you sit down and look at yourself. So you go with peer pressure because you've seen someone
Doing it.
and because you want to fit within the society. So you go alone to get the car. Not even thinking about these are the problems that may come with the car.
With a car, yes.
And you know what happens is that when you buy it, you don't want to sell it off, because you want to keep the standard.
You've elevated yourself to a certain status. But remember, you have to put aside at least 20,000 shillings, not for fuel, but just to keep it clean. Weekly budget.
Now, self-discovery. It is when you sit down and look at yourself, ask yourself these questions. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where do I belong? I've seen Mr. Morgan, for example. This makes me laugh.
Sure.
In politics, people belong to parties.
Yeah, no, NRM, FDC, PPP.
Now, some people fail to understand that they are supporters or agents, and some are maybe officials in the government. If you are a member of parliament who is belonging to NRM, you may have more boasting than just a supporter. If you are an official in the government of NRM, you may have more boasting than somebody who is supporting from Mayuge. Don't say, if you are just a supporter from Mayuge, don't say that we NRM can do ABCD.
Oh, their privileges at different levels.
At different levels. Because when they arrest people who are misbehaving, they will not arrest an MP. Even if they arrest them, they can release them that very day. But you, who is a supporter, will be in cells for years. Why? Because you don't understand your level. You don't understand who you are in that party of NRM.
True.
So self-discovery also helps you to understand your limits or your limitations. Yeah. You can't do, there are things you cannot do because you know who you are. I think you understand that.
I'm understanding it, Pastor.
Yeah. So self-discovery, you look at yourself, whether it is at the workplace, or in marriage, or whether you are in ministry, you are having a church. Don't copy. Don't live a life which does not match your standard. Looking at factors that may cause problems in your life, things that may fail you to succeed, such situations that may happen in your life. This is what I'm trying to talk about.
That's why sometimes even when I'm also trying to do social media in my free time, I don't extremely go an extra mile to how to compete Pastor Fugan Pathway for Integrity, because they can afford very expensive cameras.
Yes.
As me, I'm using my phones and what Pastor and the team, they'll bring serious cameras and they position them very well in studio. That's why people that are following Pathway for Integrity on TikTok, on Twitter, X, on Facebook, they are able to get good, clear content because there's at least a certain level, and you believe you can manage that.
Yes.
Now, if someone can also do it on phone, multi-purposing, making calls, recording videos, taking photos. please also appreciate it in that way.
Yeah, begin with what you can manage.
Yes.
This issue of self-discovery has made many people to suffer in life
Okay.
because of not understanding who they are. I want to bring in a true story where I one day employed someone in our small business.
Okay.
We were looking for a worker, and then a certain boy came up to show interest and picking up the job. He was very desperate for the job, coming from the village, wanting to survive in town. So we got him into the job, and he started working. Now, after like a week, this job needed a supervisor. So I asked my brother to come in and try to do for me the supervision. So because he met there this boy, this younger man, the younger man started misbehaving. He said, no, you can't supervise me. You are not my boss.
Wow.
You know, for me, I understand what I'm doing. I employed my brother to supervise them because I knew he knew well about the job. And actually he would help them work better and we perform to the standard we wanted. But this boy started misbehaving. So they were three working for us. Now they started talking amongst themselves. And then this one started telling the fellows that, you know what, I'm going to quit this job. I can't be supervised. You know what, I'll go back. And then even the colleague also tried to influence him that, you know, actually we can leave. All of us can go. Then all of a sudden, the news gets to me that this boy is planning to do what? To quit the job. I summoned them. These two who were claiming, who had discussed together that they will quit. I summoned them and told this one who started the issue that, you know what? I heard you want to quit the job. So I'm asking you today to quit. Now, is it okay?
Not even tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow. I am asking you to quit now. He said, yes, Pastor. Yeah, for me I'm going. Then I also turned to the friend. I asked the friend, are you also going? Because I'm chasing him now. Are you also going? And then the friend said, no, for me I'm still at work, Pastor. I'm not going away. And then this one got confused because he thought both of them were leaving the what? The job.
The job.
And then the friend changed himself. For him, he said he wanted to stay. And then all of a sudden, he also tells me, but Pastor, I also want to stay. I said no.
So hold on, Pastor. So the other one was mobilizing.
Yes. The rest.
The rest of the friends to quit. To quit. Same day, same time?
Yes.
Oh.
Not remembering who he was and where he was coming from. So the following day, he left. After 2 days, he started calling me. Pastor, I want to come back to the job. I want to come back and work. And then the friend was enjoying the work. I told him that, you know, you forgot the way you came to get this job. You started playing on the job after 1 week. I'm not punishing you, but I want you to learn a lesson.
Therefore,
I'm not
that therefore point.
I told my brother who was supervising them that I'll employ that boy again, but maybe after like 2 weeks. Let him first stay in the village for 2 weeks.
For further self-discovery.
Yeah.
Meditation.
Yes. After 2 weeks, I'll employ him again. What he did, he decided to come. He coordinated with a person who was competing with us in the business, and he came and worked at the neighborhood.
Oh.
Coming at the neighborhood, he worked for 3 days and he said, no, Pastor, do you know what? I want to come and work at your place. I can't manage working here. This boss is very difficult. Do you see what we are calling self-discovery? My brother went and talked to him and said, you know what, you need to settle. You need to understand yourself and settle. If you have come to work at the neighborhood, first be at the neighborhood. Understand yourself. But if you keep moving like that, then you will not work anywhere. So he stayed there 1 week, 2 weeks, he went back to the village. So I could not employ him again because he had come to work at the neighborhood. From there, he left and went back to the village. Now, ask yourself, you who is listening to me this evening, jobs, because of not understanding who they are. How many people have been employed and today they are not in that employment because of not understanding who they are, because of peer pressure, because of the environment around them, because they want to fit within a certain standard of life they don't match with. This is how much we have failed in development. This is this is why many people are suffering. Not because in Uganda there are not jobs. We have some people who can employ people, for real. But even the issue of not being trusted at the workplaces has been a big challenge. People are given good positions that because they don't remember where they came from, they start misbehaving, they start stealing, they start underlooking their bosses. And for that very reason, it has made many to lose jobs.
Sure.
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery. And after getting exactly what Pastor said, I need to really understand that one of the key issues that will make this radio survive is playing adverts. That's why I am also discovering myself by playing adverts on time. Then like this with us, counting 21 minutes to the end of the show. I have Pastor Afuga, who is the Director of Pathway for Integrity, and we are discussing moral issues that can shape our community. And so, Pastor, we have talked about self-discovery, and you've given us a very interesting story. Now, at this time, I would request us to look at the effects of self-discovery, which may be positive and others may be negative. You are at liberty to expose us to some of the positive or negative.
Yeah, I think I want to begin with the negative. Every time you fail to discover yourself, one, you may not have genuine relationships. Why? Because people will fail to trust you. Very few people will trust you if you show a different identity on the outside when you are not that in the inside. Actually, some people will let you because of your fake identity. But the day you will come out to be a true person, everyone will leave you out. So it can make you lose friendship.
Okay.
Yeah. If you don't understand or discover yourself before time, it can make you to lose jobs. We've been talking about that.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody was forced to leave. Was chased from the job because he didn't understand how he came to get this job and where he was coming from. By the way, many times, every time we don't remember or discover our family backgrounds or where we are coming from, that is a very big challenge to many people. You know very well that you sleep in a house of 100,000. Maybe you pay per month. But because you have a friend who is paying $1 million per month, you want to eat the same lunch of the same fee.
Yeah.
Because that is your friend and you are pulling from your pocket, but you don't even earn that money. So many times people live also in debts because of not discovering themselves. You want to eat meat every day, you want to be going out all the time, but you don't have this money. But because there is maybe peer pressure, you want to fit in the society, you force yourself to live that way. It has also happened to girls losing relationships with their boyfriends because they try to put themselves on a standard they are not. They demand for things they can't themselves provide.
Yeah.
So it works in different areas of life. If you're a married person, you understand who you are and the person you got married to. If you are working somewhere, understand how you got the job. how much you get and how much you spend. Don't fear to be criticized, but while living yourself, be yourself everywhere. It will help you to solve some problems that may come in your life. The other good part of understanding who you are is still having genuine relationships. People know you by who you are, and they will relate you because of that. I was giving an example when I was at some radio. I passed a church called Rest Assured Fellowship. It's located in Kayunga, Mafubira. By the way, we are inviting people on 15th.
Okay.
We are launching a new church structure where we want you to come and join us. Now, when I had just started that ministry, I sat down and asked myself, Pastor Asaph, what are you going to offer to the community? What do you understand yourself best about? Yes, I didn't just wake up to start preaching any message. I had to sit down, look at myself, understand what I know. Then I designed my model of preaching by the help of the Holy Spirit. So what the Holy Spirit gave me is what I went out with. And actually I've tried to defend that for many years. I've been in ministry. I've not copied the other style of how other pastors are doing, because I am not that. I came to understand myself and I decided to be that. I live a very simple life because that is I. But you realize you realize that some pastors or some other people leading ministries want to copy certain standards of life. They want to be like Pastor so and so. They want to build big churches when they are not there. And this has made people not to trust us, because you realize people are landing into big debts because they want their churches to look good, because they want to have musical instruments at church. If you are not yet ready there to be there, please wait upon God. Because even what we call faith, faith may simply mean accepting to live within your means and trust God for what you don't have.
Okay.
If God gets you there, well and good. If He has not yet put you there, still wait and live within your means. So the advantage of understanding who you are, it reduces pressure in your life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You live a stress-free life. Of course, at some point people will laugh at you, but they can talk and leave you. They will not talk forever. They will not laugh forever. And if they see you progressing, actually they stop laughing. That is how I have progressed.
Appreciate what you are today.
Yes.
Strategize for being better tomorrow.
Being better tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. It actually also goes with planning. Yeah. Because self-discovery, you sit down and also have a plan for your life. Where you are coming from, where you want to go.
Okay.
Yes. So you start looking at your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. You examine yourself that way.
In self-discovery,
yes,
you must weigh your strength.
Yes.
You must weigh in your weaknesses.
Your weaknesses.
Appreciate the opportunities available.
And take good, you make good use of them.
Okay, all the opportunities.
Yes.
And also know that there are threats.
Exactly.
Now we want to open the line 0752 890 890. If you have a comment, a contribution, if you want to speak to the executive director of Pathway for Integrity, I have him in studio. And if you want to give a comment, appreciation, addition, what, we all appreciate those compliments on 89 Smart FM reference point. So the line is now open, and we want to get your feedback. Many topics will be discussed on this show, because we are looking at how can we have a trusted ethical community that can
0741 43 7905. That is purposely for WhatsApp. if you want to join the Google Meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. You can join us and we chat together. Okay. Pathway for Integrity Network, remember, is here to help solve the puzzle of development. When we tell you to discover yourself, we are more or less telling you that be that person who is going to help your community transform. Because if you understand yourself, like I said at the beginning, that becomes your journey or your beginning of your success. People who have succeeded in life, they sit down and plan. They sit down and look through things. They sit down and look through their lives. Also, the other thing you don't need to forget is that even when you have parents right now who are looking after you, please think about yourself as someone who is alone in this world, because you may not know what will happen tomorrow. If you are ever depending on people to support you, to help you, please, you better change and become independent.
Okay.
Because this world can change anytime. Anything can happen and you will have nowhere to begin from. If you were already married to a man and you just sit at home because they feed you with everything, please, you better wake up and start thinking, start using your brain. Because one day this man can go and you will have nowhere to begin from.
Sure.
Self-discovery will help you to get into many things. Will help you to get into that kind of creativity which actually can make you to move from one level to another. Learn to be independent. Understand who you are. Leave alone those peer pressures you've been having. I want to say that you know yourself. You know yourself, and please be that. Don't go back home and start crying because you've lost it. Be yourself. Start slowly. You can start small and go on growing. This is what I told you, that even us, the born again Christians, when we talk about living by faith means living within your means as you trust God to do what you cannot do, or to do big things in your life. So for today, I want really to appreciate you for being part of the show. Remember, we are located at Clive Road, Central East, Haji Hussein Building. When if you know Bank of Africa, Alidina Road, that tall building. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor Afuga, for joining us this evening, and allow me joining us last Friday. Sure. Those are the holiday makers, secondary school students.
Wow.
They are with us. I'm certainly sure, because many schools closed the term 3 on Friday, and the rest of the schools will be closing this week. So we have a new set of listeners. So in your planning of topics, please find a way of incorporating them.
Yeah. We need them so much, and we shall plan accordingly. Sure. Because we want to speak to our nation, to transform our communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor Afuga. We really want to appreciate you, the listener, for keeping it here on 89 Smart FM. Pathway for Integrity will return on Monday, and we shall have another episode, another discussion here on 89 Smart FM. Up next is Wind Down Zone, and men of talking topics about changing communities are done with their duty today. Men that prefer discussing love, they are joining you on the radio.